Colts Nation, wake up, because the landscape of our offense might have just shifted in a way nobody saw coming. We are sitting in the heart of May, that brutal stretch where the news usually dies down, but rumors are exploding right now that could change our entire trajectory for the season. I am talking about a potential move that has the experts buzzing and the rest of the league on high alert. We are building the strongest tribe in football right here, and we are pushing for 3,000 subscribers. So join the family, hit that button, and let's go. As we get deeper into this long and grueling offseason, the list of viable free agent contributors is starting to dwindle, and the tension is rising in the front office. It is a calculated game of chess that most fans do not see behind the scenes. Some of these remaining free agents have strategically remained unsigned as they try to secure an ideal landing spot, while others have either outplayed their hand or are working back from injury. On the flip side, organizations like our Colts will oftentimes hit pause on their free agency endeavors once the NFL draft grows closer. It is all about playing the compensatory pick game, a high-stakes strategy where teams wait until after the formula no longer counts toward the draft before making their move. If the intrigue and conviction are not there early on, they wait, they watch, and they strike when the price is right. This is exactly where we find ourselves midway through May, with a group of potential contributors still sitting atop the market, and believe it or not, the Indianapolis Colts have just been deemed the absolute best landing spot for one of the top options available. ESPN analyst Matt Bowen recently put together a list of the top free agents remaining as of Monday, May 18th, and he had Indianapolis as the perfect destination for wide receiver Deebo Samuel. Now I want you to stop and think about that for a second because it sounds like a dream. But there is a lot of nuance here. Bowen prefaced his analysis by saying that each of the top remaining free agents in question will likely not be starters. We are talking about rotational players or added competition, meaning he does not see Samuel immediately slotting in to become a locked-in starter in Shane Steichen's high-octane offense. But does that even matter when you consider the impact a weapon like that could have? We are looking for that missing piece, that extra gear to push us over the top in the AFC South. The management is playing it cool, but the smoke is starting to turn into fire. Are we ready to see a move of this magnitude? Can you imagine the pressure on opposing defenses when they have to account for this kind of versatility? It is a waiting game that is driving us all crazy. But wait, it gets even crazier when you look at how this fits into the master plan of our head coach. Bowen pointed out that while the Colts added veteran receiver Nick Westbrook-Ikhine this offseason, Samuel would bring a unique skill set to coach Shane Steichen's offense as a massive complement to Alec Pierce and our explosive slot man Josh Downs. Think about the tactical genius of Steichen for a moment. He can create a long runway for Samuel to get up to speed on crossers, while building in manufactured touches on screens and fly sweeps that keep defenses guessing every single snap. This is the raw truth. They don't want you to know how much this could open up the field for everyone else. We have seen what Steichen can do with creative playmakers, and having a guy who can work those underneath routes while Alec Pierce stretches the field is a nightmare scenario for any defensive coordinator. The added skill set would certainly complement Pierce well, providing a balance that we have been desperate to find. However, we have to be honest with ourselves as fans, because there is a flip side to this story. Samuel has notably regressed in recent years, and that is a pill we have to swallow. That is not to suggest that he is no longer a viable option in an offense, but we have to acknowledge that he has lost some of that electric juice that once made him the most versatile threat in the entire league. It is a gamble, a high-stakes roll of the dice on a veteran who might be looking for one last run at glory. Bowen concluded that signing Samuel, who caught 72 passes last season in Washington, would also give the quarterback another reliable catch and run target alongside our rising tight end Tyler Warren. This is where the emotional pivot happens, because we go from pure excitement to the reality of the grind. Both Samuel and Warren ranked in the top 15 of yards after the catch last season, which means the potential for explosive plays is through the roof. Are we looking at a rejuvenated veteran or a player on the decline? The debate is heating up in the locker room and in the stands. We need players who can take a 5-yard slant and turn it into a house call. Is he still that guy? The dramatic reality is that Deebo Samuel is still a sure-handed target, and he actually posted a career-high catch rate of over 72% in a full season in 2025. But we have to look at the redemption arc here. His versatility that made him such a massive threat as a ball carrier is all but gone at this stage in his career. He is now 30 years old, and the harsh truth is that he will be a shell of himself sooner rather than later. But as Bowen suggests, Samuel's specific skill set is no doubt one that Shane Steichen covets. This is about competition and finding those specific roles that make a championship team. His drop-off in rushing production has taken the biggest hit in recent years, but his consistency as a pass catcher underneath has remained elite. During his lone season with Washington in 2025, he had over 700 receiving yards and 5 receiving touchdowns on 72 receptions. That is the kind of reliable production that moves the chains on third down. Now look at our roster. Second-year tight end Tyler Warren will certainly demand the majority of targets across the middle of the field and will also be the primary option for run and catch opportunities. But adding Samuel would immediately strengthen a wide receiver room that lacks a true second option in that regard. We need someone who can step up when the game is on the line and the defense is doubling our stars. It is about the grit, the struggle, and the legacy of this team. If we bring him in, it creates a buffer. It creates a safety net. What happens if this news goes right? We become an unstoppable force in the red zone. What if it is a disaster? We lose a spot for a younger player. I am being raw and honest with you because as your insider, I see the risk. But I also see the potential for a veteran to come in and teach these young guys how to win. We are one step away from something special, and this could be the veteran leadership that bridges the gap between being a good team and being a legendary one. Seriously, I am losing my mind thinking about the possibilities here because the depth chart is a puzzle that needs to be solved. Josh Downs remains an absolute mismatch from the slot, and while his veteran savviness is constantly on display whenever the ball is in his hands, he relies more on maximizing his catches as opposed to fishing for additional yardage. He is set to play on the outside more than ever this coming season, and adding someone of Samuel's skill set would help keep Downs in his rightful spot in the slot where he is most dangerous. It is all about putting players in a position to succeed. The addition of free agent wide receiver Nick Westbrook-Ikhine is great, but it was never meant to serve as the Michael Pittman Jr. replacement on the outside, even though his upside as a red zone threat is nothing to scoff at. Adding a player similar to Pittman would indeed be a smart move, especially if the Colts were able to add Samuel for cheaper than expected. This is the secret that only true fans understand. We are literally one injury away from a catastrophic situation in our wide receiver room. Ensuring there is as much depth as possible is not just a luxury, it is a necessity for survival in this league. Adding Samuel would be a massive first step in securing our future. And here is the kicker. The Colts currently have the 7th most available cap space in the entire NFL. With over $31 million in space, we could easily afford to take a one-year flyer on a veteran like this with plenty of room to spare. It is a low-risk move with a potentially massive reward. Even though he might not have as much juice as he once did, a 7-year veteran still has enough left over to intrigue a brilliant offensive mind like Shane Steichen. Unbelievable, right? We have the money, we have the need, and we have the coach who knows exactly how to use him. I am looking at the numbers, and it just makes too much sense to ignore. This is how you build a contender in the modern NFL. This is the grand finale of the offseason saga, and it all points toward a powerful vision of what we can become. Tie everything together, and you see a team that is not afraid to take a chance on talent. You see a front office that has managed the cap perfectly to allow for a move like this when the time is right. We are not just looking for bodies, we are looking for weapons. We are looking for the fire that ignites a locker room. If we bring in a veteran who has seen it all, who has caught 72 passes in a season, and knows how to find the soft spots in a zone, we are giving our young quarterback the best possible chance to succeed. This is about the future of the franchise and the legacy of the horseshoe. I want to see your fire in the comments right now. Is this the move that secures our division title, or are we being let down by chasing names from the past? Do you believe in the Steichen magic to revitalize a veteran, or should we keep our money and trust the youth? I want the raw truth from you, because we are a community and your voice matters more than anyone else's. This is our year to prove everyone wrong, to show the rest of the league that Indianapolis is not to be trifled with. We have the space, we have the system, and now we might just have the man for the job. Don't just sit there. Join the conversation and let the world know where you stand on this. We are building something special, and I need every single one of you in the trenches with me as we count down the days to kickoff. Let's make some noise and show the league what this tribe is all about. This is the moment where we decide who we are going to be. Colts Nation.